Hello, and welcome to Japanese craft beer reviews. Today's beer will be a craft beer from the United States, from one of the premier brewing states in the U.S., Oregon, and it is from the Deschutes Brewery, which is in Bend, Oregon. And Deschutes Brewery is it's a craft brewery, and they started in the United States in 1988 as a kind of brew pub in Bend, Oregon, which is a town in the middle of Oregon in the mountains, and which hosts many good craft beer breweries, including Boneyard and many others. And they have expanded and become quite large. And in 2008 they opened up a brewery and tap room in the Pearl District in Portland, Oregon, which is probably the premier destination to get their beer in Portland. And I've been there several times. I used to visit Portland at least once a year, so it's quite a place to get their beer dish, and you can order. They have 20 or so taps, and you can order all kinds of beer. So for me, it was always a place to go in and try new Deschutes beer, and it's probably the U.S. craft brewery that I have the most experience with, or have had most of their beers. And the beer we're going to look at today is called Deschutes Fresh Squeezed IPA, and I recall when this came out, I guess it was maybe about 10, 12 years ago or so, when I would go there to Deschutes in Portland with my son, he would always order. He's not a beer drinker, but he always liked this one, and he'd always order this when we had dinner there. So it's a 6.2 or 6.4% alcohol beer, 60 international beer units, pretty high, an IPA. And on Rate Beer, this one has 1,832 ratings, and the average score is pretty high, 3.9 out of 5, 97 percentile for all beers on Rate Beer, and 99 percentile for its style IPA, and you can bet there are quite a few IPAs. Untapped, there were 360,446 ratings, and the average is almost an identical 3.91. This cost me 650 yen. I bought it not too long ago in a large supermarket, and the malt bill for this is 2-row malt, Munich and Crystal, pretty basic, and also Citra and Mosaic hops, pretty basic. And they state that no fruit was harmed in the creation of this beer. I'm not sure why they say that. I haven't had this beer for quite a while. I did rate it from notes from 2010, so over 11 years ago. And that rating was from 2013. So looking forward to this. Fresh Squeezed brings to mind a harvest hop note, but it's a canned beer, so what can you say? But we'll see how good it is. Okay. So this really is one of my favorite breweries in the United States. They've gotten big, but they've gotten good. People, beer geeks in the U.S. want to say, "You go to Deschutes? Why do you go there? They're old." And I said, "Well, they make good beer." So, okay, this is a fairly hazy, kind of reddish amber color with a less than half a finger of kind of fine beaded off-white head. Old school. Okay, it does have the mild, near tropical fruity note, something like thick peaches, maybe some light citrus as well. Flavor's balanced from the get-go, mildly sweet and not too bitter. I'm surprised with 60 IBUs. I expect a little bit more. After mid-palate, I guess it does kick in a bit, but not much. This is very balanced overall, and it does seem like kind of like an old school IPA. Nothing fancy, pretty solid, a lot of caramel, Yeah, very malty overall, and yeah. So this beer is not yet out of date, fortunately, and yeah. So I would say give this one a try if you happen to have it. I had it on cask the last time I had it, and it was probably quite a bit better than this. But in any case, give this one a go. Deschutes Fresh Squeezed IPA. And you can try anything by Deschutes. Their specialties that you may see around are Black Butte Porter. They make a Jubal Ale annual beer, and a bigger one, which they used to make every 10 years, but I guess they've moved on to every 5 years or so, called Jubal. And that's quite a beer. And so lots of interesting, good beers from Deschutes, and so give them a go. That's it for today. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.